Welcome back. Corsair DreamLeague Season 9 with the lovely tunes of Thomas and some awesome Dotes to be played. Indeed, welcome back indeed. We unfortunately had to say goodbye to Capitalist, but luckily...
Unfortunately.
Luckily, Ted's still here.
Luckily, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep doing that. You carry on.
Sure. It's fine. You know, I like that that we have, you know, a bit more space on the couch because you were complaining earlier. You know, you want to relax.
Oh yeah,
and
I want
have
to lay
your
back.
space.
Also,
Yeah.
just a bit of you and me time, Sheeps. We
Yeah.
go back a long way. I've known you for a long time on the
Very
Dota
long
scene.
time.
Probably one of the first people I got to know on the Dota scene. And now you get your own show and I get to hang out with you. So it's pretty cool. Thanks for making me your co-host. I appreciate it.
Oh,
I'm the
thanks for
Andy
being
Richter
here.
to your Conan O'Brien. So
Easy.
you know what that is?
No.
Okay, carry on. I'll think of a Dutch reference.
There won't be any Dutch references because Dutch people don't have talk shows like that.
Oh, I thought you were going to say like a Dutch reference is like a slang for something. No Dutch references.
Do you know, it very well could be.
It could be.
There's a lot of Dutch
There are
references that are
Smucky.
weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
yeah.
not go into those.
Give her the old Dutch reference, you know what I'm saying?
I don't think I want to
No,
know
we don't
what
wanna
you're
know.
saying. All right, but I do want to have someone else next to you on the couch because I don't want you to, you know, feel lonely or anything like that.
If only someone would stop on by our house here and we could invite them onto the couch and talk about Dota.
I mean, it would be very suspect and coincidental if there was actually someone around at this
would be
very
peculiar.
moment. That could
Anytime.
Could be
Is that a knock at the door? Come on in. Yep. Yeah, there you go. Yay!
Hey!
His earpiece is falling out.
Yeah.
It's
Yep,
Darren.
earpiece is gone. It's gone.
But I am so sorry.
Hello.
Hello.
There you go.
Hello.
This is a very unfamiliar face, though.
Yep.
Hi.
Hi. Who are you? Why were you behind that door?
Well, you see, I was kind of like just sitting there, just playing my like under 3K MMR games, and suddenly I just found myself kidnapped, thrown in the back of a van, and I'm here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it happens. That's how I got my start. Kidnap.
How can we call you? What can we call you?
I'm not gonna lie, Killer Pigeon is probably the worst casting name there is currently on any stage. So just call me Pigeon. Like I think being a Sky Rat is slightly less embarrassing than being
a
killer.
murderer.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
Pigeon it is.
Okay.
How are you doing?
I'm not too bad. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. I mean, I have my own show. There's really nothing not to like.
this is what me and Ted have to aspire to. I mean, he has to. You share him with him at least, so that's good.
Yeah, I get to co-host. I wouldn't want to be the host. That's that's a real job. That's I'm just happy sitting on the sofa and talking bollocks. That's my thing. That's what I do at home. I get paid for it. So.
Exactly. I mean, there's nothing not to like.
Yep.
So I want to talk a little bit about you, Killer Pigeon, because obviously you don't really show up on tournaments very often for people at home.
Yeah.
So he's a caster.
He's a caster.
I cast.
Yes.
They were like it'd be great if we could get like a scrub tier analysis in on the side. So I was like, okay, that's great. Yep.
Nice.
So 5 carries every game. That's how I live. But
All right, because I remember it was, I think, 1.5 months ago or 2 months ago or something like that. There was a Reddit page on the front page, a Reddit thread on the front page.
Yeah, we got there.
Yep.
it blew up. It's like I don't know.
It was massive.
Like, that's the highest moment of my life so far. I don't know if that's a bad sign. Like over almost 1,000 upvotes. I was like,
It was called Killer Pigeon is the best up-and-coming caster of the...
I think it was like
Dota scene.
appreciation thread.
Yeah,
like
something like that.
Funnily enough, it was an Immortals series.
Ah.
It was like if it's EG versus Immortals, and then I got noticed for that, and that was cool. Like Trent and Annie, they gave good feedback, and then Trent ambushed me with a cast in the EG versus OGs. Like, this is epic. And yeah, then I got contact for this. Like, hey, would you like to come swim? I was like, oh my god, yes, I will.
Yes.
Let's do this.
So it's all on the up and up for
Yeah,
you.
hopefully I do well here. I don't.
You'll do great. You'll do great.
How long have you been casting for?
So I done a little bit of. There's gonna be cringe in the chat, but like back at the start of 2017, I done a little bit of Heroes of Stormcasting in like amateur leagues, and then there was like a long break.
Get him out.
Yeah, there we go. He really was really.
Yeah.
Because like it was stupid how it started. It was like it was on Overwatch, and I just done kind of I'd cast my own game, and it was really weird, but people liked it. And
Wait, you casted your own game?
as you play it,
Well,
because it's kind of weird, because it's like you're doing play-by-play from your perspective, but at the
Right,
same time, because you're thinking about what you're doing, there's enough content you can just blab for ages because Overwatch is so quick.
Right.
And then I done like the first tournament I got like paid or anything for was Pro Dota Cup in December. It was a small tournament. And then the whole Epicenter thing, the big competition.
Yeah, you're in that as well.
Yeah, I was like, I was the unexpected, because I looked at everyone, I was like, okay, there's all these people, and then there's me. And then I get invited to this, I'm like, there's all these people, and then there's me.
Don't sell yourself short.
Yep.
You're here for a reason. You proved yourself in the grind, as they call it.
Yeah.
The qualifying grind.
The qualifying
Yeah.
grind.
It's an interesting place, you know, full of games that people never turn up to. Luckily, we don't have to worry about it here.
We don't. We have actually also got a lot of nice games, and one of them is with Immortals, the game that got you big, and that's the one we're having upcoming right now. We are having Newbee taking on Immortals. So we're still in the opening matches of this double elimination bracket. Today we're going to see all 8 teams, which is something that I really like. And you know, historically, these matches are all scheduled. You know, they're seeding, you know, from top team to bottom team, and then match and vice versa. So in theory, if the seeding is done properly, and all opening matches should be one-sided.
Yes. Yeah, I think generally they will
Right?
be. I mean, yeah.
That's not mean to
No,
anything to say.
I think you're 100% right. It's just one of those things that's, you know, it's obviously the seeding is going to make it fairly one-sided, but there's always room for an upset. That's what we love in Dota. But I think the fact it's the best of 3 in double elim means that even if there's an upset, it should even out.
Yeah.
You want a tournament that has the best teams to rise to the top. Not
We
necessarily
want the best
teams that
grand finals possible.
Exactly. The teams that are playing the best at the moment rise to the top. And with double elim, if you're actually any good, you can't just get an upset and cheese your way in there. You've got to do it consistently. So, yeah.
And that's kind of a peculiar thing with this one, right? Both these teams, with Immortals, they've been looking, you know, not as strong as EG or OG in the American region, but they are getting a lot better as a team. They're coming together, and you know, a lot of these players used to be in Phoenix. They were really, really at the highest level, outstanding and impressing loads of people. And then you've got Newbee, who are a team that come in and they either just completely slam through everyone, or they get suddenly booted out very early. So anything could happen. This is probably the series of the day where I feel like anything could happen. Either team could potentially take this.
Because we had Envy on the couch, and he did not see it like that.
No, he was like, this should be a crush. I mean,
Yes.
I think the thing is, if you look at the quality that Newbee have, they're obviously a very, very good team. But I've seen them in a few tournaments lately where they've kind of underperformed a little bit. They're certainly not as strong as like a TI finalist. He was starting to like dominate, but there are a few series that have come along where they've struggled. There are teams where you think, how are they losing this to this team? You know, so I do think there is potential. Absolutely, there's potential.
Yeah.
But I also think, I mean, how did Immortals get here? You know, they sort of...
They had a qualifier without EG, without complexity,
Exactly.
without option.
Yeah, so I kind of feel like they didn't have to come through a tough qualifier to get here. Would they be here otherwise? There's a question mark about that. But fair play to them. You know, they're going to come here and give it a go against one of the best teams in the world.
It's a great
That's
learning
a great
experience.
opportunity. You're going to learn a lot. And if they do it, that's hype as F. So yeah, look forward to it.
Let's actually see what Owen is up to at the moment, because I think he talked to KP.
Ooh.
Thank you very much, Steve. Yes, I'm here with KP for a few quick words before we get into the Newbee vs Immortals series. KP, you're playing up against Immortals, a team that we haven't really seen on LANs for a few months. Are you excited? These guys, these crazy Koreans, are you ready for the strats that they're going to bring to you?
Yeah, I'm really excited because obviously I played with Feb before in MVP, and I know the guys a lot. Even Ryoya, I played Macau with him, so yeah, I know the guys a lot. It'll be really fun.
And in terms of sort of your overall look at the whole event, of course, there's a few sort of different teams that we haven't really seen at other LANs. How do you sort of see your chances at taking the victory here at the Corsair DreamLeague Season 9 minor?
I think top 4 is quite probable, I'd say. I'm not sure about first. Recently, we haven't been playing too well, so we'll see about that.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, KP. And with that, we'll send it back to you, Chief.
Yeah, thanks, Owen. The top 4 is what Newbee finds very realistic.
I mean, that should be the default. It's an 18 tournament, and
Sure.
then Newbee, so if they don't get top 4, I think that's disastrous for them.
True, but we also talked, like we saw S4. They expect top 4.
Yeah, of course.
We talked to Envy. They expect top 4.
I mean, Fnatic.
There is
definitely
still
top 4.
Secret.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
still Liquid.
Yeah.
If everybody's expecting top 4, there's no place for 5 teams in the top 4.
I mean, OG can expect top 4, I think, as much as they like, but it's going to be very tough. The thing is, both Liquid and OG both have a stand-in. You've got to consider that. So I actually think there could be a surprise package in 4th place, but you would expect OG or Liquid, even with their stand-ins, to maybe have enough quality to get there. But I'm not entirely sure. I think we could see someone else sneaking in.
It's very diplomatic of all the teams to be like, hey, we're not going to slam this, we're not going to win this. We're just here to play some Dotes. We're here to get top 4. But you know, there are a lot of good teams in this. You know, it's very diplomatic Newbee. You know, some people saying, like Envy was saying, it's going to be a complete stomp, and we were saying like Immortals. I think they know that they're outside runner, but you know, this is top tier Dotes. This isn't just, you know, open qualifiers. Anyone could take this, and we've seen some really big upsets in recent tournaments. You know, some teams just come out of nowhere.
Yeah, let's dive a little bit deeper into Newbee. Obviously, we saw KP there just now. Newbee haven't looked as hot as they used to.
No, I'm glad they know it. I mean, they could not. But if they would just say, "Oh no, it was just a draft thing or something," then you'd worry that they weren't really looking at how they were doing. But he was just openly saying, "Yeah, we haven't been getting the results we did," and that's good. I think you need to be able to look at yourself critically. So, I mean, they are a top team.
They are.
Showed how good they were at TI. And
Yeah, they beat Liquid in Genting as well.
Exactly. I mean, they're a great team. They're like the team that is like the anti-Liquid. Liquid, you know, it's like you want to see them fight each other. That's the battle. Then you've got Team Secret. A lot of people put them on top, but I kind of feel like, I don't know, we'll see. Because I spoke to some of the Secret guys. They're tired.
Yeah.
A lot of these teams, that's one thing we haven't been considering. It's just how tired these teams are. I mean, we've got
traveling all the time.
Miracle's taking, you know, a break because he's exhausted. A lot of these teams are burnt out, and it's the major minor system now puts a lot of pressure on the teams, a lot of work rate. They've got to turn up and play and play and play. So it wouldn't surprise me if a team that perhaps hadn't had to play every tournament is going to upset them.
Yeah, and that team would be Immortals. I think we have OD Pixel with Febby right now.
Thank you very much, Steve. Yes, I'm here with Febby from Immortals just before they get into their first series. Febby, you guys, we haven't seen you on LAN for a few months. Are you guys ready to kick some butt? You guys in the past, you've had some LAN magic.
Luckily, we're facing Newbee first round, so it's easy for us. Yeah.
Okay, easy. And I want to ask, Febby, can you promise us that we'll see you guys, for no reason whatsoever, in any sort of draft, just randomly pick PA this LAN?
I don't know, there's no Q anymore, so yeah. I think
but we've seen you do it after, you know, without QR.
Oh yeah, we have MP, but it's like a discount Q, so I don't know.
Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing some discount PA this LAN from Immortals. Back to you, Steve.
He is happy that he is facing Newbee as the first series because he thinks it will be easy for them.
Febby's the best, man.
Febby is
such
the best.
a nice guy.
Yes.
He's so funny. And, I mean, I can think he would be a fantastic teammate. I bet the Immortals guys have a cracking laugh. Like, I bet they're just a really top bunch of lads, yeah.
Yeah, they actually, Febby streams a lot. Because a lot of these players in Immortals, you might not know them that well. Obviously, MP was on Secret, and Velo, Dubu, they've been around.
Yeah.
But we haven't seen them in a little while. But I think Febby, people have seen him because his stream is...
But there's Dubu.
Yeah.
There's Newbee. It's not too bad, you know. Like we were just saying, everyone's saying top 4, and they're just coming. It's like, yeah, we're gonna smash it. It's like it's good to see some confidence come.
I like that.
Yeah. So what do you think is key here for Immortals this series?
Don't get crushed in the laning stage. I think if you lose the laning stage, they're never going to come back against a team like Newbee. I think if they can get strong lanes and get something going, I mean, I don't know if they're going to maybe just say, guys, we're going to pull something bizarre out of the hat and run with that. I don't know if that's their plan. If they're just like, we'll upset them by picking something they've never seen before, who knows? Or some pocket strat they've got. But honestly, I think that the most important thing is please don't get crushed in all 3 lanes, because then it's like the game is over.
So a lot of pressure on Febby and Dubu then, Pigeon.
Yeah, I feel like Newbee are probably going to try and close this out really quickly. Maybe, you know, the type of picks they like to go more comfortably later in the game, and we've seen that work against them in a lot of series. So I think the biggest issue is, like, I think mid's going to be the lane to watch. It's like it is in most games, right? Because it's like the ungankable lane these days, and I think that's going to set the tempo. That's like, I think the way Newbee like to play this is they're going to put a lot of pressure on their playmaker to be mid. Just get the pushes going, maybe see something like a Death Prophet, as we keep seeing so often, because there's these type of heroes that they come out of laning phase and they just start storming through lanes.
So Ryoya rather versus SCCC.
Yes, everyone's been struggling
that's
for
the
his
matchup.
name.
Yeah.
But then I think if you're talking about laning stage, surely the supports play the bigger factor compared to the mids. Well, obviously the mids still play a good factor, don't get me wrong. But the supports are there
you think
to,
of the supports are what enables them.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, I think the thing is that some supports can just sit there, and if they can cast their spells, then they're doing their job. So I think one of the things they can do is if you've got a mid like SCCC, he doesn't really need too much help, but you could just stick someone there just so that they don't run at him, but it's honestly, I think it's a very easy match. SCCC all the way, definitely.
Yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
Is he going to be your MVP?
Absolutely. He's the guy to watch. I mean,
Alright.
how could he not be? He's like...
Well, if you have an MVP
Okay.
that you want to vote for, you can't do it now. You shouldn't want to do it now yet, because obviously the game is not on just yet. But you can vote for your Hacks MVP. Hashtag and then the player name. You see them all listed here. I'm not going to mention all 10. You can read.
I mean, if I have to pick my favorite, I'm going to go for Febby.
Yeah?
Because Febby's
Yeah.
awesome. Like, I love Febby. So I'm going to go hashtag Febby on that one. If you want an actual pick, I think then SCCC, if he can really run over mid,
Yeah.
that's the game. But Febby all the way. Yeah, Febby.
I don't know. I've got a feeling it's going to be the game of the pos 4, so it's either Kaka or Febby. I think, Febby's always fun to watch. Always a great guy.
Great guy.
Position 4s.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that position that is still, despite the movement away from this kind of roaming meta, still setting the standard so strongly. You've got things like the Sand King, the Task, they pretty much...
You think it's moving away from the roaming meta?
I think it's like, we're going back to more of kind of like a dual laning. We're not
Okay.
quite there, but there's a transition since, like, especially with the bounty gold change, like no XP anymore is a huge deal. So you have to kind of, to an extent, be in lane. Because, you know, at the moment we do see things like the Witch Doctor, the Tusk, because they have great level 1 spells. They're always going to get picked. And once you get level 2, level 3, yeah, you can go on the gank. But there's, you know, we're not back to babysitting lanes yet. It's not like Dazzle's getting picked every game.
3-man mid every game. Yeah. That needed to be fixed.
Yeah, we
was
did have
That was
Try
weird.
lane mid
Yeah.
for a while. We have a lot of dual off lanes lately,
Yes.
especially.
I'm waiting for the return, like Omni Knight's so popular pick, I was saying, I was waiting for the dirty return of Batrider support as like a niche thing. There's these kind of really aggressive supports that just sync up because the Omni Knight's so popular still. We kind of see Beastmaster sometimes get picked, but it's kind of down. Brewmaster's a weird one because like some days you just get the easiest lane possible and then you stomp the entire map. And then other days you're like 10 minutes in level 4. It's like, what happened?
I think the offlane is really tough at the moment.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's the hardest lane, I think, to play. And I think there was an interview, I think it was with Envy, and he said that all he expects of his offlaner is that you can exist in lane and get about 200 GPM. Like, that's what he expects.
That's
That's like minimal.
well, I was gonna say that is barely anything.
Because
That's generous.
it's so tough.
yeah,
So I think actually if you can afford to go 2-1-2 and even get some kills and apply real pressure, it's got to be worth it because you just can't abandon the safe lane just because the off lane is impossibly hard. I mean, obviously the pros do it slightly differently,
yeah.
pull in the creeps and stuff like that, but I'm pretty sure that's what he said. 200 GPM was like, that'll do, you know. But he said you
Good on
can't just
you.
do nothing. Like, you've got to at least try and be in lane. You just want to get levels and stuff like that. But if you put someone else with you, suddenly you can maybe get something done.
Yeah, it's like, it's really changed. Like, you go back a year or two, like, I remember a lot of pro players that said what they expect their offlaner is you stay in lane until you stopping the carry from farming. So as long as you can interrupt him some way, just stay there. And now it's just like, do what you can, don't die like a trillion times, get maybe level 6, and then
Yeah.
go do some stuff.
Don't go 08 in the first few minutes.
I just hope not. Like, anyone going 08
yeah.
in the first few minutes is gonna be
Yeah, it'd
rough.
be a disaster for that
That's a
person.
pretty rough one.
Yeah.
Well, that's maybe also when we see the supports then accompany the offlaner as often. And it's actually very interesting because Evil Geniuses is not here, obviously, but we did just see them win the previous minor, and they have Sumail as their offlaner, and they have an entirely different dynamic in terms of farm priority as well.
Oh god, yeah. They it's kind of like watching. Like I say, it's weird. It's like it's kind of watching old Alliance. Alliance was always the team I went to. It's like they always enable their offlaner, and that was so big for Bulldog back in the day. And the EG are kind of similar to that. You know, the kind of maybe the one kind of weakness Achilles' heel is that they don't have the super selfless POS 5 anymore. Everyone on EG wants to farm, but yeah, you do see these kind of, like, I think Beastmaster IO is the most filthy thing to watch with Sumail. It just works every time. And, you know, it is possible to still run a try on that as well, especially IOs. Like, IOs enable you in every way. But yeah, there's a big emphasis on the offlane. I think the offlane decides most matches because at the same time you're stopping carries like Gyro, Terrorblade. It really does matter.
You know what I've had for what I take from this discussion so far? We've talked about the importance of how important mid lane is and support's helping out. How important off lane is and support's helping out. I think the carry position right now is you know, the most underlit
It's kind of obvious.
position.
Just the least spotlight. You
Gets
think?
the least
Yeah.
spotlight, but
Yeah.
he gets the most farm.
It's true, but I think that maybe the reason is early on, people are tending to pick these carries that are self-sufficient. So you don't try and gank them very much because it's really hard. They just sort of stay there farming. Who wants to watch that, Sheebs? Who wants to watch that? Let's watch him get a last hit. I mean, geez, it's boring. So, you know, all the action is elsewhere on the map. So we talk about that. We're talking about early lanes and early pressure and early kills and action. And that doesn't come from the carry at the moment, it seems. Like we were saying about Lifestealer with the Radiance build means suddenly he's not even involved in the early to mid game. He's just farming. So, yeah, it's weird.
I mean, that is true. We have, like, previous game as well. First game that we had, you had, what was it? It was the Weaver for Envy. He was shiny, but at that point, Abed's PL, we never really saw PL too much.
No, because what are you going to watch?
He was the carry position.
Yeah, you're just going to watch a guy farming? It's like, that's what people do. The other 4 guys run around like crazy and the carry just farms, so yeah.
You know what is exciting?
Go on. Is it the draft?
It is.
It is the draft!
It is game time. And we do have some bans. You know what? Dark Willow banned. We have seen Dark Willow a couple of times, and this is a topic that, you know, we talked about it in the green room for a little bit as well. Because she is supposedly broken in a good way, as in a positive way.
How do you get broken in a positive way?
Like like she's broken in the fact that she can win games rather than broken in the fact that she loses games.
No, I mean,
but we haven't seen her that much.
I think I mean, I think we were talking about the fact that the teams have been playing so much.
Yeah.
They haven't had time to go away and just scrim and pub and practice and play. They're literally competing.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you just pick what worked or you're familiar with at the previous tournament rather than say, you know what, guys, I fancy playing Willow. Played her in some pubs a year ago when we were not on the road. You know, it's like, no, you've got to play her after you've had a bit of time. But obviously, you know, you also don't want to give her to the other team just in case.
Well, that's the thing. It's not usually the first ban because, like you said, loads of people aren't comfortable with this hero yet. But Dark Willow is kind of ridiculous in the sense that you don't know what they're going to do with it, right? It used to be like Elder Titan was the same way. It's like they could run him mid, they could run him off lane, they could run him support. What are they going to do? And Dark Willow is like with the attack animation is pretty decent in the off lane as well. She's got an escape.
Oh, she's insane.
Yeah, it's insane because it's like you know, when you compare it at level 1, it's comparative to a Doom having his escape with Scorched Earth.
Yeah, it's nuts.
And
her fear as well is like insane. So they got Elder Titan Gyro. The ult's Disruptor Sand King. It's like a really solid newbie start. Like
it's so powerful.
Super obvious for them. Very, very tough for Immortals. This is like absolute comfort for newbie at the moment.
Yeah, and we already said how much emphasis there was going to be on Kaka's and Faith's heroes to help the lanes out.
Yeah, the lane's got to be good.
These are lane crushing heroes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Especially on these guys.
It's like Sand King's one of those type of heroes, you know, if he gets a good start and he gets a quick blink dagger, it's that hero, one of those clear ones that sets the tempo for the mid game and more or less controls it. And it's
Brew as well.
Brew. See, this is what we're talking about. This is one that you don't see as often because if he gets starved out and he misses his timing, he almost seems irrelevant.
But there's no way he's gonna. Like that's the thing with the fact that Disruptor and Sand King can just go and roam up there and help secure his lane for him.
Exactly.
No problem.
This draft is going pretty fast. Is that just me?
I think they know what they want.
Yeah.
Huh?
Like
Newbee are like, we just want these 5 heroes. Maybe they won't ban them. Bim, 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 and they've got them so far.
Yeah, it's like they've got the classic Witch Doctor. Like Witch Doctor, we're talking about was one of those heroes that only needs level 1. He gets Maledict. Cask is nice, but if you've got an Elder Titan and Gyro chasing people down, it's two fast heroes.
He is the most killingest support. I'd love to see the actual stats on it, but I'm pretty sure if you look at supports getting kills in the first 15 minutes or so, Witch Doctor's got to be one of the top ones.
Yeah, he's definitely up there. Like Disruptor doesn't have the same impact right at the start. His job is more you take 2 clarities, you put out the Thunder Strikes, you slowly force everyone to burn their regen. Yeah. And I always say, like, at the moment, Disruptor's probably the best support for trading in terms of damage.
He's an absolute pain.
I do like the Juggernaut though. I don't feel like we see it as much with the Western teams. It's definitely always been kind of a pinnacle hero of Chinese Dota. So we do see that come out. And I like this. And they've got the Sand King, the Disrupt. They've got a lot of control, so there's not really much risk of you blowing the Blade Fury and not getting a kill out of this.
He's also with the heal and with the spin, like we were talking about self-sufficient carries who can stay in lane. You try and jump him, he's just going to spin TP. There's an example of one of those. So again, it gives Sand King Disruptor the ability to roam mid and roam top and secure those lanes as well.
So I wonder if we'll see an Omni Knight. Like they don't like it as much. No, they go Beastmaster.
There it is.
That's decent though, because like I think something that everyone always forgets about is now that the build is to max out the aura and the axes.
Yeah.
You just like with an Elder Titan and Witch Doctor, this is absolutely brutal coming out from Immortals, and we've seen them play Beastmaster. It's had mixed results, but I think he should have an easier lane than Brew in these lineups so far.
5 seconds remaining.
It's all about which team gets to set the tempo so far.
And both have got like both. I feel like both
have
teams
got,
have got
and again, that ties back to what Ted said. It's like the laning stage. Whoever gets ahead gets the.
I know. I don't want to say that if Immortals have a good laning stage that they're going to win.
No,
like,
but
I
at
think
least
the
they have a
difference
good
is Newbee.
chance.
Yes, they do. That's what gives them a chance.
Yeah.
I think Newbee would still have enough quality to win. But I'm saying if Newbee gets a good laning stage over Immortals, then I think it's over for them. So they absolutely need to do well on the lanes and then hope they can outplay Newbee.
That's the thing. You look at the lineup. If a Brewmaster said if he gets a quick 6, he starts rotating, and there's a big impact. Sankin gets a quick blink dagger. If they come into the mid game after a good laning phase,
it's going to be so tough for them.
Yeah, because Immortals they're all about like this. They kind of handle more better single target focus with this kind of like dodging out damage with the Juggernaut, with the Blade Fury, with the fact Sankin Disruptor can just pin you in. I mean, it's how they want to actually round this out in the mid lane. And looking at the ban so far, like Lycan is what Newbee are expecting. I can see that. You can go for the double push, Beastmaster, and Lycan is not the worst choice. Of course, you are against Sanking, who can clear the waves pretty well.
They banned him out. Newbee were thinking the same thing.
So they are expecting that Gyrocopter to be played by Ryoya. And that we are still missing an MP hero. MP's Lycan, of course, being super scary.
Yeah.
So which MP hero is left? Which MP hero are we going to see? Or is he going to play the Gyrocopter? Because he does also obviously
That's what I was
play
going to say. Like, the Gyro is becoming more favorable in the mid lane. It used to be, you know, just stick it in the safe lane, it has the rundown. But now it's more that he can just bully someone out or farm and simultaneously.
Rocket. So
Rocket plus
stupid.
flat cannon's crazy.
Ugh.
Oh, it's so annoying.
Like we saw it in a game earlier. You know, the flat cannons, like everyone just left their bed to do what he wanted. He just stood in the middle.
Yeah.
He was pretty much flat cannon a creep at one point, and he was killing off supports.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's scary.
Hero desperately needs a nerf. Ice Frog, please get on that.
No, it's totally balanced.
Whichever hero they pick up, it's gonna have a big impact on how free Elder Titan and Witch Doctor are.
See, I thought Newbee would go for the OD, but Immortals get it first. So this is a pretty good hero. It does force Newbee into something that has some sort of defensive move away, because you have to be very careful against this combo. We might see. I'm trying to think actually where you want to go here. You could. The Death Prophet's not too bad. I don't think it's been banned down.
I really like Immortals draft.
Yeah, it's strong. It kind of sets aggression, and every lane has good aggression.
It's got lots of damage, an awful lot of damage.
And it's tough to lose the lanes. They don't really have like a hero that
yeah,
needs
no, they
to
have
be
good solid
babysat
lanes,
all
definitely.
the time.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of rebuttal. You know, if there's a chase going on, once Elder Titan has level 2, the Stomp, even if you don't hit them, it forces you to dodge it out, and there's the Death Prophet. Yeah, I like this. It just kind of gives you that stand your ground element, and if they stack up on top of you, obviously, I think DP is probably one of the best heroes to escape that type of gank.
I do think it's interesting Newbee have the Death Prophet and the Brewmaster cooldowns to play around slightly. So they do need to think about that. I think Immortals are a bit more ready to rock a lot of the time. So that's going to be interesting to see if Immortals can, if they can get through those Immortals, get them into cooldown, and then maybe get something out of that.
All right, so we said from the start that Newbee was going to have the upper hand here. They are, on paper, just the much better team, if I can say it like that. Pigeon, are they going to cause an upset here?
I think Newbee just have to keep the calm and focus on the lane. If Immortals force them into early group ups, then that's where Immortals have the advantage. You know,
I need a prediction though. You can't.
Yeah, so I'm
say
gonna say like Newbee. I think they can control the tempo here.
All right. What do you think, Ted?
Newbee.
As well. Okay. Well, I think that was a little bit of a clear one, but maybe not entirely so. You know who we can ask? We can ask Capitalism. Let's. They'll be your casting pair for game 1.
That's right, you can ask us, as we're going to be covering this Newbee versus Immortals matchup. It seems like Blitz, Immortals, you know, they were a greedy team. They, through their qualifiers, they'd love to be able to draft like 2 or 3, like at least 2 carries. It felt like they just needed a lot of space. And the way they opened, I was like, maybe this is a new Immortals. Maybe they're actually going to be playing very fast-paced. Then they closed it out with an OD and a Beastmaster, 2 of the cores that are popular in the meta right now, but still need a lot of farm. Seems like Immortals haven't really touched away from that too much.
Yeah, they're going to run into KP here, who's just going to walk it off as a Brewmaster. And I think the meta is always geared towards teams that are going to play faster. It's a more consistent type of playing. But I think against Newbee, I don't even know if dragging it out late game necessarily means you win this game. Like, they have an overwhelming amount of team fight.
Yeah, they've got the nice combination of Juggernaut and Death Prophet, who are kind of always relevant, right?
Yeah.
There's never a time where you feel bad about those heroes.
Yeah. I'll tell you what determines like a good brew game for me is if you hit 6, can you kill the safe lane carry?
Okay.
And in a game like this, you definitely can.
Yeah.
Like one rotation and you're going to kill that gyrocopter.
That's, I never thought about it that way, but it does make a lot of sense. Because the Brewmaster Ultimate, like early, there's no team fights that are happening, right? It's just like, I feel kind of like the same way about the Beastmaster as well, is whether or not you can actually threaten the enemy carry with your roar.
Yeah.
So that seems very poignant point.
Oh,
Immortals,
Febby?
Febby is going to do the classic pull. A little bit less classic because it's a 4 position, pulling to the side, and is just going to use his TP. He is trying to stabilize Velo's lane here, and he's probably going to need it to. He's a Beastmaster matched up against a Disruptor Juggernaut combination, so this is a lane that you can probably just run at that Juggernaut and try and punish him as much as possible.
Yeah. The Beastmaster is actually really nice against the Jug in lane.
Yeah.
Like, you have a high amount of HP, so you can tank through the spin, good stats, and axes trade out a lot more efficiently in the early game than they used to.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like so many times, like, the Juggernaut thinks he can spin on you, and you just fight him, and you actually win that trade-off.
This team, both teams have a lot of history, as KP used to play with some of these guys. They were friendly trash talk before the game started.
Yeah.
What is it? KP said, SEC about to expose you guys.
Yeah, about to expose Roya here, also known as 747 or Susie. Probably gone by different names because he was exposed multiple times in the past, one of which was a notable ESL 1 New York. I think that was, what, the first New York? People were hyping up 747. They're like, yo, this guy, he is going to crush. And then he showed up and did not perform up to his online standards.
It happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, even Sumail looked bad in his first line, right?
Yeah.
Was it the one in Vegas?
Oh, early stun, kinetic field. They're going to be able to control a Febby here, and this should be our first blood. Mugi's going to be able to take that. Velo does get some decent axe damage out. And meanwhile, KP actually may be dropping top lane. A nice combination of heroes, Gyrocopter and Witch Doctor, where if you can actually get on top of the Brewmaster, you ignore the missed percentage chance. Maledict and Rocket Barrage is an overwhelming amount of single target damage.
Yeah. Nowadays, the 5 positions that are favored are the ones that trade out very well in lane.
Yeah.
Witch Doctor, Warlock, Bane. Like, all these heroes are so good at trading 1v1 with offlaners. Same with Disruptor. Disruptor kind of suffers the most out of them, because even though he has the most offensive toolkit and he's got the kill potential, like his ulti is probably the best out of all of them, is you can usually aggro him and shut down a lot of his single target focus. But heroes like Witch Doctor are just like strong overall in mid.
Roya going to be caught out here. Kaka had a haste rune, and all they needed to do was just bait out the OD. SCC does that. They are going to be able to catch Kaka, but they're turned around onto Dubu. I say big time trouble. They're going to be able to run him down underneath the tier 1 tower, knowing that he turns around, gets the Maledict onto Kaka, and he does not get rid of the tower aggro, so he will end up trading out his life for that support. Still, though, worth it for Newbee.
Yeah, SCCC there. I feel like he should have traded out the... But he saw another TP come in, so he just want to get out. As early lead does go to Newbee, but it's very slight. And this bottom lane, the Beastmaster can just continue to run at this Juggernaut.
Let me ask you this. Do you think that this ET Beastmaster lane should be doing a little bit better against Newbee, considering they lost their first blood? Possibly a second kill here. Velo going to be pulled back. Mugi holding on to the spin until Velo gets far enough away. They manage to get the Burrow Strike, and there's going to be no stun to be able to stop that spin for Mugi. In fact, getting in front of Febby, look at this great body block from him. Febby, he just can't seem to get anywhere. Kinetic field now out. He is completely stuck. That's going to be a second kill in this bottom lane. This aggro dual lane from Immortals is suffering terribly against Newbee's tri-lane.
That was beastly. That was really well done by Mugi there. Oftentimes this is the support that goes to the body block, but his 2 supports are stunned up. And Velo's just going to come back here.
Yeah, but look how many Magic Wand and regen items he still has left.
Yeah, if he doesn't have the salve there, then I say the trade's okay.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes in offlane now, it's just about trading kills. But Dubu, just trying to force the Brewmaster out, who has died and hasn't gotten as much. Like, I remember reading in an interview like a while back about offlaners. It's like, if you're this 0-0 offlaner that has 1 CS and hasn't done anything, and your mid laner's getting roamed on, then you're actually being useless.
Yeah.
Like, you'd rather have somebody that's like 0-2, has decent CS, and has actually dragged a bunch of supports down there with you.
See, the problem I have with this setup is the fact that Kaka has managed to roam into mid, at least once this lane.
Yeah.
In part just because of a lucky
Haste.
haste rune, you know, was quite fortunate for him. But feels like Immortals are really losing on the laning phase just because both mid and bottom have gone so terribly for them.
I think Immortals is okay though, because this Beastmaster is still getting levels in farm.
Yeah.
And if you force the tri-lane down, I think this is the ideal situation for them. Like you want 3 heroes down here at all times, like forcing that kind of pressure. Like,
And you want the
can.
Brewmaster solo against the Gyrocopter, right?
Yeah.
Where he can't really get in your face or challenge you underneath the creep wave. It's one of those situations where you get Maledict on him. He has to run away, which means he's separated from the creep wave, and Rocket Barrage is going to be able to dish out the damage.
This Beastmaster, he's own 1, sure. But if you look at KP, so is he, but he's only level 2 going on to 3.
Yeah.
And this Beastmaster is 3 going on to 4. And he's got a reasonable amount of CS. So even though they both have died at bottom, I think Febi's died twice now, you don't really care too much because you're still securing your Beastmaster some measure of farm. And that's the thing about offlane is, it feels like these solo deaths don't matter as much. Because if you're shoving in the wave, you're trading out regen, it's kind of okay.
Yeah. Which is where sometimes these safe lane heroes that are pretty self-sufficient, like Juggernaut, I would point to Lifestealer. Those are actually 2 very signature Mugi type heroes. They seem to be pretty favorable right now, just because the inherent regen that they give themselves, whether through the healing ward or the lifesteal from the Lifestealer.
Yeah. Did you notice in the EG game, by the way, like every game they went like 2-1-2?
Yeah, yeah.
And the Chinese kept trying to do this like 3-1-1, like where they just kept trying to secure their safe lane over and over again.
Yeah.
And it feels like Newbee's doing that too. But they're just like much more successful at it than VGJ was against EG.
Because that's like kind of an old school logic, right, about the dual lanes, is that if they're going to dual lane, if you tri-lane, you have to kill them.
Yeah.
Right? You have to actually continue to kill them. Otherwise, they're just going to out-level you and, in general, just be able to win the laning phase. So Newbee is at least getting that done with their Sand King Disruptor. But as you said, Immortals is still getting something out of their offlaners as well.
Yeah. I think that's so interesting about Dota, though. Like, the way that the meta continuously shifts. It's like,
yeah.
At first, when, like, 2 years ago, it was make sure before you do anything to secure your safe lane.
Yep.
That was, like, the meta around, like,
You drilled that into me, playing the 4 position. It was like bounty hunter or something.
Yeah, secure your safe lane first, get the kill. They don't expect it, and then you can move. And now it feels like that was, like, abused. And now people take advantage of the 2-1-2.
Right.
And it's like the greedier you get, the faster teams always win. And then at some point you play too fast and you play, like, heroes that are too aggressive, and then you can be a little bit greedier and win.
Yeah, and then your lineup is
shifts.
like, it's like too perfection based,
yeah.
Right? Where it's like, we're playing so fast that you can't afford a single bad team fight.
The thing about, especially in this mid matchup, is because this ET, if he roams mid, I don't think he kills S-Triple-C any time.
Bello in some trouble here, is not going to fight Kaka, is going to try and outrun him, but the Caustic Finale is slowing him down. They have 3 seconds till Burrow Strike is up. They won't even need it here. Thunder Strike is going to be good enough. Kaka does stumble into Febi, and they're going to fight. Kaka actually reading this pretty well, knowing that in 2v1, they can actually be the ones forcing Febi back, and Febi is going to be one taking a lot of damage. In fact, look at all those Magic Wand stacks. Kaka wants to be able to get this kill, has a Burrow Strike, finds the ET, is able to claim that kill. Now Bello shows up, but he has no stun, just clears through the trees, and Kaka, he's still going to fight this because he knows he's got the SCC Death Prophet backing him up. What a man Kaka is, and he's not going to be punished whatsoever for the damage he took. He's got Tranquil Boots already.
You see what Mugi's doing too. He's immediately spinning the wave to force somebody back here. Somebody does manage to come, but it's a 4-man rotation here right now from Newbee.
Yeah, an early Death Prophet Exorcism that should allow them to be able to take the tower and keep the Beastmaster down.
They're even going to find Febi here, but he's just going to get out. They're trying to deny the creeps.
One of the big downsides of like an OD mid, right? No pressure. You can leave that lane, that hero's not going to be able to do anything for you. So SCC going to use the Exorcism, try and take this tower, and it's going to go relatively unpunished.
If that's an SF that you're playing against, for example, you're going to see your wave get double nuked, and then he's going to hit your tower for 120 a hit.
Yeah.
And he's going to force you back. But with an OD, his game pace is a little bit different. Like, OD is such a strong hero when it comes to like single target and all that, but taking towers and stuff, not really your forte, because you don't clear the creep wave very fast.
Yeah.
And that's oftentimes what determines it.
Look how long it took him to finally get that catapult on top of the tower, and by the time he's there, SCC Death Prophet already TP's back.
Yeah. Even the activation time for if you use the nuke onto the creeps, like, it takes a while.
Yeah.
And so it's a bit different. And you notice, like, the Death Prophet doesn't even lose out too much. If you look at the level difference between him and the OD, if that's a Shadow Fiend, for example, again.
Oh, they've read this. They know they're going to go for the dive on KP, and that's where Kaka strikes. He's going to get out the burrow strike. MT does have his level 6, though, and they've dealt so much damage. KP's already dead. TP out. Oh, no. He's not going to be able to make it. Too much damage coming out from Mookie. Maybe Dubu can get out. No, he's been slowed down with the Spirit Siphon. TP out. Is there any stuns? Glimpse is going to be able to pull him back. Faith does pick up that level, and Mookie gets the double kill. A great read there from Newbee. They knew with the lane pushing in and how much they've already tried to shut down KP's Brewmaster that they were certainly going to go for a tower dive there.
Yeah, it's the one lane that Immortals can get kills in, and so they're trying to abuse that fact.
Yeah,
it's like I said about if you can't kill the mid laner with your 4 position, you're forced to play like this game where you can only essentially go to one lane, because that's a Juggernaut. If it's a Jug or a Lifestealer, the downside of playing against those heroes is they're not easily gankable. And so you don't ever feel pressure as a safe laner. You know no matter what happens in a game like this, until Beastmaster hits 6, you can always spin TP out.
He's got Omni Slash, Phase Boots on cooldown though. Should be able to catch up to Febby on the next round. Close enough, but now there's a creep wave. Febby is going to be able to stay alive here. Meanwhile, bottom lane, they actually managed to get a kill onto KP. They did a similar thing. Immortals not quite matching the speed that Newbee took to this, where they brought the Juggernaut up to the top lane, but MP on his second life goes to bottom, gets a kill, and they're going to try and pressure the tower just like the Juggernaut is trying.
Yeah. General idea behind that is just you try to mirror as fast as you can. I think, I don't know who it's more important for to mirror. I'd imagine it's like Immortals has to play faster here, because if you're Newbee, it's easier for you to take the enemy mid tower. Like we talked about those issues, right?
Yeah.
That they would have. It'd be a lot easier for them to collapse and take that mid tower with the DP ult.
You're saying that like the Juggernaut takes that safe lane tower and then they wrap around onto
and then
mid.
you just grab mid as fast as you can.
Pop an Exorcism and just dive the tower.
Because what's your clear situation look like? It'd be Beastmaster Axes and like the ET Spirit, but you can dive that.
Yeah, for sure.
If you're a Jug.
It's like very slow setup.
That's what we often say, like casters, like you'll hear Fogged especially too. We'll talk about like these slower fast heroes. And it means like your ability to clear out a creep wave and move on. Like that's what that denotes, is like how fast you can just move from one situation to another with like very little downtime. It's like, look at this move, mid.
Managed to get a stun. Roya tries to get the TP out, not going to make it.
Yeah, they're going to get even more than this because the mid tower is so nice for them to at least like harass. Like somebody from Immortals already has to be here. And ideally it's the ET. Because if it's anybody else, they just get dove on.
Yeah. So Immortals, they try and match Newbee, and Newbee read that and they say, okay, we're just going to go for this wraparound on mid early. We're actually going to try and take 2 towers while you're just taking that one bottom lane tower.
Yeah. It's a greedy move, but if it pays off like this, it's really nice. And Febby actually elects to be at this top area. Gonna get glimpsed back.
Trying to slow down this push, does have the TP Omni Slash, and it's going to be enough damage.
They're getting
easily gets the kill.
They're getting like and ones right now.
Yeah.
They're grabbing a tower and they're getting a kill, or they're grabbing a kill and they're pressuring the mid tower. But if you're a Beastmaster team, anybody that's ever watched Beastmaster play knows like this guy wants to own this bottom jungle area.
Right.
You just get one level of the Hawk early on, and it's very hard to gank you, and you create so much pressure.
Yeah,
but with that,
you get a soul ring and you're spamming axes on neutrals.
With that though, you need to take the mid tower to completely get control of the jungle.
Right.
To make it very hard for you to make those kinds of rotations in, which is why like wards will often reveal where the team is going to go next. And if you notice, the next ward placed for Immortals right now is around that mid tower, around that tier 1.
Yeah. They've got themselves a decent mid laning ward. Moogie, not going to slow down. After all, he's a Juggernaut. The only thing he's scared of is Beastmaster Roar. So as long as they know the Beastmaster is camped out in this bottom lane, he can be super aggressive. But Velo playing off map right now, trying to bait out the OD perhaps. Does have a Quelling Blade, ready to eat through these trees and go for the kill on KP if he thinks that they have the damage. The OD is not the best burst damage hero in the world.
They're pinging right now. They know Kaka's there.
He's going to pop out, sees Kaka, almost gets the stun out of time. Sandstorm is going to protect the Sand King.
Yeah. What an awkward move.
This feels like something that Beastmaster doesn't want to really be doing. He's not getting a whole lot of farm out of this.
No, he doesn't want to be in this position.
And they may still get caught out here. Roya, they've got the vision of him. They're going to be able to pull him back with a glimpse. There is going to be a stomp. to make sure he is protected. Now Velo and Febby come back in. With the Roar, they're going to be able to easily kill the Sandbeam, but KP is still going to fight this out. Goes for the kill onto Febby. They don't have a glimpse anymore, so this TP will be successful.
Yeah. It's mainly about this top. This Juggernaut, though, has like been completely untouched in this game.
Yeah, he's actually changing up his build, going for a Battle Fury. He's gotten so much space.
And he's even going to be the one to TP mid, which I really like. It's like a good sacrificial play to make. You can even just start running top again on this Juggernaut.
Yeah.
As long as you see the Beastmaster on the map, your game is pretty clear.
And the pressure is coming hard and fast in this bottom lane. KP, at 11 minutes in, he's still not level 6, but the rest of Newbee is pretty high up there in experience and net worth, and so everyone else is happy but him.
It feels as though like these one-off kills don't matter so much anymore.
Yeah.
Like you get a kill on a core, and even then, it doesn't feel like you got too much because nowadays people are just trading out farms so efficiently. That's kind of what I garnered from the EG VGJ series.
Yeah.
Is every time VGJ would get a kill, there'd be like 3 heroes on the side of EG farming, and that's kind of what it feels like in this game. Is every single time they get a kill on somebody, it doesn't seem like it matters that much because you're not getting anything extra on the map out of it.
Right.
Like if you get a kill in Dota and you can't transition it into anything, all it does is it reveals your position and allows somebody else on the enemy side of the map to continue to farm.
Yeah.
If you only have like one real killer hero. And for them, it's right now it's just this Beastmaster. He's like he's the guy who just goes around the map, plays very fast, pushes out waves with his axes, and then sets up for kills.
And part of that is because the lineups are so fast, right? That most of these lineups are not very dependent on the farm that they get. Like, maybe it's a little bit different if we're talking about like Spectres and Tinkers and those kind of heroes. Maybe those pickoffs do matter a little bit because you're slowing down that one person's farm, and it is pretty important. But all these lineups, it's like you kill a Death Prophet, but Brewmaster and Juggernaut are farming in the meanwhile, and they're shoving out lanes and everything.
Yeah.
That trade-off's not going to mean so much.
It's kind of cool to see like the resurgence of like these dead lane heroes come back.
Yeah.
Because there was a time period where people felt like they were just bad. Like it wasn't like as needed as a concept. Like you needed these heroes that could out-rotate. But nowadays they can do both. Like Lifestealer with his new build, where he goes like Radiance, you can transition differently into being a killer. Whereas before it felt like you were just a guy farming for no reason.
Beastmaster going to be caught here in the bottom lane with the Exorcism push. They've still got plenty of time on this ultimate. After all, they didn't need it for that Tier 1 tower. So they're now going to approach the Tier 2. And Immortals, well, we need a response from them. We'll see what it's going to be. The OT, he's not going to be joining in any of these team fights, it seems like. For the most part, he's just got to focus on his farm. And that's really one of the big downsides of an OD. Not a very useful hero until he's got like 25 minutes of farm time.
Yeah. I think that was a really cool move, by the way, by Newbee. Like, if you saw how many heroes were gathering around mid for Immortals, they thought that the natural conclusion was they're going to come mid next.
Yeah.
But if we're here first, like, we'll take this fight. But instead, they just go bottom. They don't grab a tower or anything out of it, though, so it's not the worst thing in the world for Immortals. But you notice, like, now they're going to go mid, and they're just playing, like, blistering pace around the map. Like, they're just moving objective to objective, making it very hard for Immortals to keep up. Because now Immortals, like, they bought the feint at bottom, and then they dragged heroes down there.
Now they're not in position to defend this mid tower.
Like that's like the coolest thing about Dota is that you can just keep doing these like micro feints and keep your opponent guessing. And if you're the one doing that, then you're always going to be in an advantage because the enemy team is just responding to what your movement is on the map.
Kaka not going for a Blink Dagger, an early Force Staff pickup for him.
Yeah.
Fully investing into that fast kind of pace, not really focusing on the big Blink epicenter play.
If you want to defend these towers, like, you have to be here before people get to your tower.
Right.
But because they are playing very quick around the map, it's hard for them to contest. And now Febby has spotted KP, who's had a really rough game. That is like the upside for Immortals right now. It's like this guy wants to use his ult really badly.
Kaka. Well, at least they'll catch him. Paralyzing cast, kind of surprised him out. They're going to drop the ultimate here from the OD. And Kaka, well, it's going to be a little bit close here. The second Maledict, if he can actually get to the shrine. Oh, he gets a little bit of heal, and that's going to be just barely enough. May have actually survived anyway. The Tranquil Boots were beginning to kick in as well. So Immortals, they kind of laid a trap there, but failed pretty spectacularly. As the score right now, 12-5, 5,000 gold lead for Newbee.
Yeah. It's like the issue with their lineup, right? It comes back to, again, like the only killer hero that they have is this Beastmaster.
And the Beastmaster isn't really ready to play ball. He doesn't even have the Necronomicon just yet. You get a little bit of vision of him. I guess that's my problem when I saw like the Beastmaster and the OD. It's like you can't really play these kind of lineups right now. There's not enough space for both the Beastmaster and the OD to farm.
Yeah, it would require the gyro to do a lot more in this game. But I don't know how much pressure like gyro puts on a lot of these heroes. I don't think the Jug or the DP particularly care.
Yeah, Jug loves Gyrocopter, right? He's got a magic immunity and he's got single target physical damage.
KP loves also, like, if you're an offlaner, you love being the guy that everyone can kill. Because it just means that all the focus is on you, and you're that guy saying, like, you're pinging everybody else on your team. You know, everyone's been there, where it's like, grats for ganking me, idiots.
Yeah.
Like, my Jug has...
He's trying to finish up a Battle Fury after getting Ring of a Kill on Yasha.
Yeah, he's going to have like a 50-minute Yasha Battle Fury. He's like, congrats, you guys stopped me. Good for you.
Yeah, like, woo, you shut down the Brewmaster's Blink Dagger.
Yeah.
You dumbasses, I didn't even get my level 6 until minute 12. What are you doing with your lives?
You got to be real spiteful.
Yeah.
You're just pinging all your teammates' items, you know? You go one of two directions there, right? If you're a pub player, either you're pinging your teammates' items out of like, what are they doing? Or you just get upset, right?
Yeah.
That your team's not helping you. But nobody on Newbee really needs to help this brew. Like, he's not like a core that they particularly care about.
Yeah, who needs items on Brewmaster, honestly? Like, you maybe get a Blink Dagger. Like, everything else is just excess. As long as you're getting off your ultimate, that's the important part.
Yeah, there is like some good upside though, by the way. Like, we've been talking about Newbee a lot, but this OD is starting to pick up a lot of farm.
Okay.
He's just behind the Death Prophet. The single target, yeah, but there's not a whole lot for him to like clear through. And he's good against like most of these heroes.
They're going to try and go for a glimpse play. That's why the turnaround is here from Dubu. Great paralyzing cast. Oh no, it bounced the wrong direction. Still though, a great ultimate coming out with the Euro Splitter. Almost enough to be able to finish off Kaka. Faith is certainly going to be dying to Dubu here, challenging him with that Witch Doctor. A glimpse back. SEC on the side, trying to grab some of these heroes, but he's low enough that he can't really go for this fight. And now it's a Brewmaster ultimate that it feels completely useless. They needed to be able to have Mookie in this fight to really force it into Immortals. And Immortals, instead, they got to turn around, fight, and get a kill on a Disruptor. Nobody gets caught in the process. And they forced all of the Newbee heroes down to bottom lane, which means a lot of free farming time for the OD, and that's exactly what Immortals need to be able to win this game.
Yeah, this Beastmaster Roar, even though it's like one of their few good spells, it's going to be really effective in this game. Because there's not any sort of save on the side of Newbee.
Yeah.
And on top of that, like this OD, like for the most part, he should be able to use Astral to like cancel out most of these disables. It's like they're in an okay position, which is going to force Newbee to now walk into the Roshan pit, try to grab like an objective, because this mid tower is not going to be easy for them at this point. Like, you just lost a fight, you don't have Brew ult.
So you want a little bit more security before you go for any more objectives. Make sure that these heroes can't get roared and focused down by the OD. They aren't going to be able to pick up that Aegis and push towards the mid. Now, the OD managed to get himself on imprisonment, still brought back by the glimpse, though. They need help. Dubu's here, trying to be able to save him, gets off the Maledict, holds out that Death Ward, still needs to be able to stop SDC. That's a real damage dealer. Roya is going to be able to protect himself from another imprisonment, but here comes Kaka, ready to go with the Burrow Strike, and with an Omni Slash, they'll take out the Witch Doctor as well. Where is the rest of Immortals during this time? Well, the answer is they're pushing out bottom lane, choosing not to try and challenge Newbee whatsoever. They're going to go for the high ground here, see if they can force Newbee back.
Yeah, without the books, though, this makes it very awkward.
Yeah, there's no real threat coming from that push.
Yeah. It's annoying, and you should definitely send heroes to deal with it, but it's not as big of a concern.
Yeah, let's be real. That tier 3 tower took how much damage? Yeah, less than 50 damage.
They're okay with that trade?
Certainly.
Still, Vela's trying to get some farm. Hey, this guy is the most important hero on the map right now for Immortals, as we talked about. Like, whenever he shows on the map, that's information. But at the same time, we talked about like the heroes that are gonna wave clear. Like, wave clear is a concept. You need heroes that play very fast to do so. Like, you need to put pressure on the map to alleviate stress on other sides of the map. And the only hero that can really do that is this Beastmaster.
Trying to catch him, glimpse down to the bottom lane. Moogie will help this Disruptor get that kill. Kill some of the Beastmaster minions as well.
It's such a weird game for him. He's got to play so aggressively, but he doesn't really want to at the same time.
It just means he's getting, like, he's babysitting an OD earlier. Like, he's just not getting this Necronomicon online.
Because your mid player is a hero that's not like a Tinker or something that just like, look at this, like this Death Prophet double nukes a wave and then moves.
Yeah.
But OD's job is a little bit different in the early game to mid game, which is what this is. Like, it's still only 19 minutes into the game.
So is Velo being too sacrificial, or is his team not being enough? Like, are they just not taking that space creating role from him?
I think it's just a really hard position from the B in, as they're going to make this move on mid.
Jump on, but
This is
the
a
first half
deep
away. They
throw.
are going to be able to glimpse in. Velo, thinking about it, is going to throw out the roar onto the Sand King, trying to stop him and let Roya get out of here, but he's still going to be caught. The Beastmaster's going to just try and do whatever he can with these axes, but it's not enough to deter Newbee. They just keep on pushing forward. Now dropping Febby back to Earth. They're going to focus on him with the Spirit Siphon at Kinetic Field, not quite latching him in, so they may be able to catch him here. Yule's Scepter slows him down a little bit further, diving deep into these Tier 4 towers. Meanwhile, Omni Slash actually takes out the Beastmaster. MP is here, though. Nice use there of that defensive. SEC is going to be able to protect himself as long as possible. Back into the healing ward he goes. That early pick of the Aeon Disc really paying off when they go for the Tier 4 tower dives. And as a result, should be able to take this mid lane of Rax.
It's a really cool item to go second. Understands like the only way that he gets killed probably is like the roar into some kind of combo.
Yeah.
But with the Aeon Disc, he's almost always going to break that. And now they've 20 minutes in, taking the Tier 3 tower. They're just going to go for the Shrine now. Mugi's time on all of his items is so sped up.
Yeah, crazy. About to pick up a Manta.
Oftentimes, I think teams give Mugi a lot of space because they're like, it's almost like you're going to double team SCCC and say, make Mugi beat us.
Yeah.
Because he's the perceived weak core on the side of Newbee. But he's played this game like phenomenally.
Yeah, I would 100% agree. Like a year ago, that was definitely the strategy. It feels like in the last 3 or 4 months, though, Mugi has carried so many games of Newbies.
On the side of Immortals, though, like their draft just feels. I mean, there's only so many times you can talk about it, but I still think that
it's just too greedy, right?
Yeah, there's like a minor way that they come back into this game, though. Like, in an ideal situation, you set up Roar on this Juggernaut, burst him, you send the DP away, like you Astral him, or you just lock him up and try to ignore him for as long as possible and kill the other cores. And once you get through the Jug, you're in a much better spot.
Yeah. Looking back on the draft, if you, like, Beastmaster and OD, 4th and 5th pick, respectively, was there a trade-out of a hero that you would have preferred, like a Bat Rider or something, instead of a Beastmaster?
No, I still think the BM was okay.
Okay.
I don't know if he's really the...
Why do you like the Beastmaster in this game?
I mean, Roar cuts through, there's no save.
Yeah.
He can take control of this bottom area. Theoretically, the Hawk should always allow you to keep tabs on things like Roche. But Febby is going to send out the Spear right now.
Spirit out.
But S-Triple
Ready to go with the Stomp. SEC is going to be slowed down by the Boar enough to be hit by the Stomp. Febby not wanting to blow the Earth Splitter just yet. They've got to deal with the Healing Ward in the back line. They jump immediately, grabbing the Beastmaster and bringing him down, not letting Immortals get the opportunity to initiate. Pull back, glimpse onto the Witch Doctor. Another great stomp there with the Earth Splitter out this time, but STC gets waken up by that flat cannon. Epicenter coming in. Kaka a little bit late on it, still able to get some decent damage, but now the Beastmaster's back into play, trying to kill Kaka. Jump forward. Oh, Static Storm play from Faith actually limits a lot of the damage from the OD. Febby's going to get brought down by Mugi, who now goes for the Omni Slash onto MP. MP getting close to Dubu is going to be able to get some of that Omni Slash off of him, and now Mugi just has to spin and run himself away. Fortunately, he's a fast little Juggernaut boy. He's going to be able to outrun most of our Immortals, who won't be able to catch anybody from Newbee. So you get the range racks, force a buyback, and get out.
Yeah, they do manage to hold their melee, though, which is the big target. And that was still a little bit disastrous because you only get 2 supports out of it.
Yeah.
Like this Aeon Disc is having a lot of value here as SCCC and Vizdop seeing what he can do here, but with 3 heroes...
That and the poor Beastmaster buying back there. Ugh. Still no Necronomicon.
And SCCC right now, he's pinging like crazy.
Die again. Caught out by SCC, the Invis Rune spotting him all the way in. Velo was just hoping to create some space. Not a whole lot of space when you die instantly the moment you cross the river.
SCCC, though, still 50 seconds away from the ult. That should halt things, at least for the time being.
A little bit more time for the OD to farm up, who's trying to go for a Scythe of Ice. He is going to be challenged, though. They can get the stun. Mugi can get on top of the OD. In fact, they're going to try and force out an imprisonment. Nice follow-up there with a stun right before the imprisonment can go down. That being said, there is a Blink Dagger, so this OD may be able to get out, but the damage from the Wolf of Sandstorm as well as the spin is there before he managed to get the Blink off. That's cancelled, and he will end up dying.
Looked like he was going to kill Faith for a sec, but nice trap setup nonetheless. They know that there's only 2 heroes in the mid lane, but they don't really deal enough damage without this OD or this Beastmaster.
Yeah.
So they can't even punish that rotation up there.
And the Aeon Disc allows SCC to push aggressively, knowing he always has that fallback. Even a Shiva's now for him. Another Exorcism being used. Stomp may clip him, but the Ghosts will keep on trucking. Focus on the melee racks. And Immortals, they're certainly losing this. It's just a question of what else are they going to be losing, because Newbee may try and push into the top lane after this is done. Or maybe they'll just get out, clean retreat. It looks like that's going to be the case here. With 10 seconds left on the OD, Newbee playing very patiently in this game. I had to say, like, both times they've won multiple team fights inside of the enemy space, but they've only taken one objective, then backed out. Took a tier 3, ran away. Same thing with the range racks.
They're trying to find around the perceived Roshan.
Yeah. Good point. Rosh is up in just 1 minute time. That's why Immortals are currently 4 men smoked out.
Yeah.
They can get a catch.
Allow them to go for high ground attempt after high ground attempt.
Right.
It's too hard. So they're trying to set the fight for once. I like it. They're going to run into Faith here, though.
Fellow. Not going to be able to catch anybody here. A Glimmer Cape goes off. They spot Kaka. He pops the Sandstorm just in case. Oh, no. Well, that's going to be 70 seconds for a Roar. Popped it on Mugi's illusion.
Ooh. That's brutal. That is...
And that kind of gives Newbee free lease to control this Roshan pit.
Yeah. Get the next Rosh, get Aegis Cheese, go high ground. Then the game is all but wrapped up here. They're going to get the stun on Ryoya and the silence.
And no imprisonment is going to be able to protect him here. The rest of the team trying to get here to protect the OT, but he just can't seem to make it out. Finally, the imprisonment goes down. He can blink away from this one. Faith is taking a lot of damage. Meanwhile, the OD does manage to blink farther back, but they caught him with the Brewmaster and managed to get him with the Earth Panda stun. Doobie's going to be run down by Mugi, while now MP, it's his turn to feel the wrath of Kaka. Epicenter goes down, but they actually have the counter vision to be able to spot Kaka underneath the Sandstorm, so MP pops the BKB, takes him on. Mugi finally able to get that one kill on the support, while the rest of his team just cleans up some of the back line. Elder Titan goes down next. Mugi has an Omni Slash still, and Iggy really wants this kill onto the Gyrocopter.
He's killing all the creeps first.
Making sure MP has no way to be able to disjoint this Omni Slash, but if the Gyrocopter won't fight, they'll just take another lane of racks. Another jump forward. There's the Omni Slash, slowing him down as well with the Brewmaster. Beastmaster managed to get off a stun on Illusion. Again, Mugi is able to get through with his real hero, takes him all the way down to the fountain, and brings him down beyond godlike for Mugi. A steady carry for Newbee is exactly what Mugi is. He's been for so long. Here, he's just carrying the game for them. Febby going to be slowed down by the Spirit Side finish. Just kill after kill here. Immortals, they are just feeding the beast. That is SCC and Mugi. Roya able to slow down at least one hero here, trying to go for the Brewmaster, but he does have that missed percentage chance on him. Mugi's going to challenge him, gets on right on top of him with the Blink Dagger, and again, just forcing the OD back time and time again. The imprisonment up, barely in time, might be able to blink back to the fountain, but it is just saving measures right now. Keeping these heroes alive doesn't actually keep the game going, because Newbee have taken a second lane of racks and are getting closer and closer, being able to close out this game. Udubu trying to fight this one out still with the OD, who's built up a little bit of intelligence, but he's gonna need a lot more if he actually wants to take on the 5-mana Newbee. Not wanting to risk it, Newbee again playing it pretty disciplined. Gonna back out of the base just in case they overextend themselves and accidentally lose a team fight.
Yeah, they're gonna go for the last shrine, then probably just push in a Roshan and do the exact same maneuver up in top. But now you've got a lot of items flying on the side of Newbee. The butterfly is complete on this Juggernaut, as well as, what was that, a BKB?
BKB, Death Prophet.
Yeah, he's so farmed right now.
So now the magic damage.
They're going to contest Rosh, though.
Oh, Faith is going to be slowed down here. This is going to be an excellent pickoff. Disruptor. There's nothing to shirk out. He's actually been really helpful in a lot of these team fights for them, as being able to focus on the OD, get the Static Storm on top of him.
Okay, they get the net onto the Jug Illusion, but he's been full twice now.
Yeah, let's just hope they don't do another Beastmaster.
Yeah, Fellow.
Or don't do it again! No! Fellow! Come on, man! There's only so many times you could fall for that one. Mugi is going to be slowed down. Ooh, what is this paralyzing cast? But here comes the Brewmaster, looking to be able to disrupt everything. Managed to get off the spin, and now Dubu stuck in no man's land. Going to be slowed down by the Spirit Siphon, looking for the kill on the Febby maybe. They're actually killing all these Brewmaster Pandas. They're going to kill the last one. That's going to be the Earth Panda. He goes down. 2 kills so far for Immortals, looking for a third. A Stomp goes down. SDC pops BKB, Aeon Disc, and here comes that Epicenter, able to blow up at least the Beastmaster, but it's Roya. He's the important one. Drops his bomb, able to make sure the Sand King goes down. Double silence. Witch Doctor, you're going to have to give up your life for this one. Try and slow him down. The paralyzing cast, that's a beauty. Roya needs to be able to get out of here. The OD, he cannot be chased down by this Juggernaut who's got a Blink Dagger ready to go. Look at that Battle Fury critical hit. Almost killed the Witch Doctor just by itself. KP, he's not going to chase them down though. This has already been kind of a questionable team fight for Newbee. Pretty much the only one where they've kind of lost some heroes, so they're going to back up. Again, play it safe. Let's just get that Roshan, boys. Get the Aegis. Cheese. And is that a refresher Roshan as well?
Yeah. The double, no, it's just the cheese. But
nope, just the cheese.
The dual core right now from Newbee is so strong. You got 10-0 on the side of SCCC, Mugi's 12-0. Combined 22-0, counting for 29 other teams' kills combined. They've done such a good job on these cores. Is Dubu going to get caught up? Any Dubus here? Just one.
Just one, and not for long.
Tries to spite D-Ward, but does not do it in time. And now this top lane is open for the taking. Everyone just buying Aeon Disc now on the side of Newbee, countering out that Beastmaster War, which hasn't even been really a threat, really, as Velo.
I mean, that pretty much encapsulizes all of Velo this game. Not much of a threat. Nullifier soon for Mugi, so he can blink, Nullifier, Omni Slash somebody if he wants. I'm not sure if there's much that Immortals have to say about this final push. Aegis, cheese.
Kaka's not up here.
That is true. Kaka is currently pushing out the bottom lane. Apparently figuring that his team doesn't need him. And right now he's right, because the OD can't actually lay any damage into this Butterfly Juggernaut. So Mugi is going to be able to take that tier 3 for free. They're a little bit afraid of the Stomp Earth Splitter. And they want Kaka to draw some attention away. Down to that bottom lane. Now that the Gyrocopter's bottom, they pounce immediately into the top lane. Already killing Febby. Omni Slash about to go over to Dubu. Poor Dubu. That's going to be a double kill. Mugi looks for more. That's going to be Velo. They actually managed to get the Brewmaster ultimate off here with the Earth Panda stun onto the OD. And that'll be it. Immortals, they'll call it. Game 1. Newbie, just handle Immortals. Exactly as Eternal Envy predicted.
Yeah, that was a shellacking and a half. Newbie from the get-go, they built up a lead, never really let it down at any point. Their 2 core players went insanely off in this game.
So if you had any advice to give to Immortals after this game 1, whether it's draft or gameplay oriented?
Can't be greedy against Newbee.
No.
Too fast of a team. Like, these guys are used to just playing against these VPs and Liquids and finals.
Yeah.
You have to speed up your game time or be willing to take these fights 5-on-5 against these guys. And if you're not, then games like this happen.
They're also pretty disciplined. They're not going to throw away their lead for the most part. When they have it, they go high ground. We saw, was like 4 or 5 different pushes where they would take they would take a team fight, win it. They would take one objective. They wouldn't go for more. They would just take that tier 3, that range racks, back out, secure their lead even further until they have a 25,000 gold lead towards the end of it.
Yeah, that was really rough.
All right, well, that's just game 1, though. Immortals make some adjustments. After all, Dota 2 is a best-of-3 game. Immortals will have their chance to see if they can find something, cook up something to beat Newbee with. Short break. We'll be back.